In 1975, two young friends, Bill Gates and Paul Allen, saw an opportunity that almost nobody else noticed. Computers were still rare. Most people had never used one. Large companies spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on computer systems. The idea that every person could own a computer seemed ridiculous. But Bill and Paul believed the future would be different. One day, they saw an article about the Altair 8800, one of the first personal computers. The machine cost about $439. To most people, it looked like a strange box filled with switches and lights. To Bill and Paul, it looked like the future. At ages 19 and 22, they founded Microsoft. They had little money, no investors, no giant office, only a dream, a computer on every desk and in every home. At the time, that dream sounded impossible. In 1975, there were fewer than 300 computers in the entire world. Most were owned by universities, government agencies, and large corporations. A single computer could cost tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Ordinary families couldn't imagine owning one, but Bill Gates saw something others missed. He believed computers would become smaller, cheaper, more powerful, and eventually part of everyday life. Paul Allen shared the same vision. The two friends had spent years fascinated by programming. As teenagers, they often spent long nights writing code. Sometimes they barely slept. Sometimes they skipped other activities just to spend more time with computers. To them, programming wasn't work. It was an obsession. When they saw the Altair 8800, they immediately realized something important. The hardware was impressive, but hardware alone wasn't enough. Computers needed software. Without software, even the most advanced machine was almost useless. That realization became the foundation of Microsoft. There was one problem: the company didn't exist yet. The software didn't exist yet, and they didn't have customers. Yet Bill decided to take a huge risk. He contacted the manufacturer of the Altair and claimed Microsoft had developed a programming language for the computer. In reality, they hadn't finished it, not even close. Now they had only weeks to make their promise real. Failure would destroy their credibility before the company even started. The pressure was enormous. Bill and Paul worked almost non-stop, day after day, night after night. They wrote thousands of lines of code, fixed errors, tested programs, then started again. Coffee cups piled up, sleep became rare, every hour mattered. Finally, the software was ready, the demonstration worked, the company accepted it. For the first time, Microsoft had a real customer. The victory was small, but it changed everything. Soon, Microsoft began earning its first revenue. Not millions, not billions, just enough to keep moving forward. The company operated from modest offices. Every dollar mattered, every contract mattered, every customer mattered. Bill personally reviewed code. Paul worked on new ideas. The team remained tiny, but their ambitions were enormous. Many people still doubted them. Some experts believed personal computers were a temporary trend. Others thought only large companies would ever need computers. Investors showed little interest. Friends questioned whether Microsoft had a future, but Bill refused to think small. While others saw a niche industry, he saw a revolution. He imagined millions of computers, then tens of millions, then hundreds of millions. Most people thought those numbers were ridiculous. Yet Bill continued repeating the same vision: a computer on every desk and in every home. Years later, that statement would become one of the most famous predictions in business history. But in 1975, it was simply the dream of two young programmers with little money and a huge imagination. They had no idea that one day Microsoft would employ more than 200 people. They had no idea the company would generate tens of billions of dollars in profit every year. They had no idea that software they created would be used by billions of people around the world. For now, there was only a small company, a few computers, a lot of code, and two young friends willing to bet everything on a future that nobody else could see. The journey was only beginning. In 1980, Microsoft received a life-changing opportunity. IBM, one of the largest technology companies in the world, needed an operating system for its new personal computer. The contract could be worth millions. There was only one problem. Microsoft didn't actually own an operating system yet. Bill Gates moved quickly. Microsoft acquired software called Q's for around 50 and improved it into MS-DOS. IBM accepted the deal. When IBM PCs became popular, Microsoft grew with them. Thousands of computers became millions, millions became tens of millions. The company suddenly found itself at the center of the PC revolution. At the time, IBM was a giant. Its annual revenue was measured in billions of dollars. Its name was trusted around the world. If IBM entered the personal computer market successfully, it could change the entire industry. For Microsoft, the opportunity was enormous, but so was the risk. When IBM representatives first contacted Microsoft, Bill Gates understood that this moment could define the company as future. The meeting was intimidating. Microsoft was still relatively small. IBM was one of the most powerful technology companies on Earth. Many startups would have been overwhelmed. Bill Gates wasn't. He believed Microsoft could deliver what IBM needed. There was only one challenge. The company didn't yet have the operating system IBM wanted. Instead of giving up, Gates searched for a solution. Time was running out. Competitors were waiting. The future of Microsoft depended on the next few weeks. Eventually, Microsoft found Q's quick and dirty operating system. The software was simple but functional. Microsoft purchased the rights and immediately began improving it. Engineers worked long hours. Bugs were fixed. Features were added. Performance improved. Every day brought new pressure. Failure wasn't an option. If Microsoft lost the IBM deal, another company could dominate the emerging PC market. After months of intense work, the system was ready. IBM approved it. The software became known as MS-DOS. At first, few people realized how important that decision would become. Even inside the technology industry, many believed the personal computer market was still small. But Bill Gates saw something bigger. He negotiated a deal that would later become legendary. Instead of permanently giving away all rights to the software, Microsoft retained important licensing rights. That decision changed business history. As IBM computers became successful, other manufacturers wanted similar systems. Soon companies across the world were building IBM-compatible PCs, and many of them needed Microsoft software. The numbers started growing rapidly. Thousands of computers shipped, then hundreds of thousands, then millions. By the mid-1980s, personal computers were appearing in offices, schools, and homes around the world. Every new computer increased Microsoft's influence. Revenue surged. Profits climbed. The small software company founded by two friends was becoming a major force in technology. Employees who had joined during the early years watched the transformation with amazement. Only a few years earlier, Microsoft had been a tiny company fighting for survival. Now it was signing major contracts and hiring new workers at a rapid pace. The headquarters became busier, teams expanded, new products were developed. Investors began paying attention. The company that many people had ignored was suddenly impossible to overlook. Bill Gates remained focused, while others celebrated short-term success. He continued thinking about the future. He believed software would eventually become one of the most valuable industries in the world. Many people still doubted that vision, but the numbers were becoming impossible to ignore. Revenue reached millions of dollars, then tens of millions, then even more. The growth seemed unstoppable. Competitors started worrying. Technology companies realized that Microsoft was gaining enormous influence over the personal computer market. The company was no longer a startup, it was becoming a technology powerhouse. Years later, business experts would study the IBM deal as one of the smartest decisions in corporate history. A small company had partnered with a giant, and somehow, the small company emerged as one of the biggest winners. The agreement transformed Microsoft's future. It created opportunities that would generate billions of dollars. It helped establish Microsoft's position at the center of the computer industry. Most importantly, it proved something Bill Gates had believed from the beginning. The personal computer revolution was real, and Microsoft was now leading it. The company's greatest successes were still ahead, because soon, Microsoft would introduce a product that would change computing forever. Its name was Windows. In 1985, Microsoft launched Windows. The first version was simple, many critics were unimpressed, competitors doubted its future. But Microsoft kept improving it. Then came Windows 3.0, then Windows 95. The launch of Windows 95 became one of the biggest technology events in history. Millions of copies sold, people lined up outside stores, businesses adopted Windows everywhere. By the late 1990s, more than 90 of personal computers used Microsoft as operating systems. Revenue exploded, profits soared. Microsoft became one of the most powerful companies on earth. But success did not happen overnight. The first version of Windows was far from perfect. Some users found it slow, others preferred competing systems. Technology reviewers were skeptical. Many experts questioned whether graphical operating systems were the future. At the time, most computers still relied on text commands. Users had to memorize instructions and type them manually. For beginners, computers often felt intimidating. Bill Gates believed that needed to change. He imagined a future where people could interact with computers using windows, icons, menus, and a mouse. A future where technology would become easier for everyone. Many people thought that future was still years away. Microsoft continued investing millions of dollars into development. Engineers worked relentlessly, new versions were released, mistakes were corrected, performance improved. The company refused to quit. Then, in 1990, Windows 3.0 arrived. Everything changed. The software was faster, more reliable, more user-friendly. Businesses loved it, consumers loved it. Developers started creating thousands of applications specifically for Windows. Sales surged beyond expectations. Millions of copies were sold. Microsoft's revenue climbed rapidly. For the first time, Windows became the dominant operating system in the personal computer industry. But Bill Gates wasn't satisfied. He wanted something even bigger. Throughout the early 1990s, Microsoft invested enormous resources into the next generation of Windows. Thousands of engineers contributed to the project. Years of work went into development. The company knew the launch had to be extraordinary. Then came August 1995, the release of Windows 95. The excitement was unlike anything the technology industry had ever seen. Television networks covered the event, newspapers wrote front-page stories, advertising campaigns appeared everywhere. Microsoft reportedly spent hundreds of millions of dollars promoting the launch. The company even licensed the song "Start Me Up" by the Rolling Stones to celebrate the new start button. Customers lined up outside stores. Some waited overnight. Others traveled long distances just to buy the software on release day. When sales began, demand exploded. Millions of copies sold within weeks. Businesses upgraded entire offices. Families brought Windows into their homes. Schools installed it in classrooms. The operating system became a global phenomenon. By the late 1990s, Windows powered more than 90 of the world's personal computers. The numbers were staggering. Tens of millions of users became hundreds of millions. Microsoft's annual revenue grew into the billions of dollars. Profits reached record levels. The company's stock price soared. Employees who had joined during the startup years suddenly found themselves working for one of the most successful companies in history. Microsoft's headquarters expanded rapidly. New buildings appeared. Thousands of employees were hired. Teams worked on software, development tools, internet technologies, business solutions, and future versions of Windows. The company became a symbol of the digital age. Bill Gates became one of the most famous business leaders in the world. His personal wealth increased dramatically year after year. Microsoft's success continued. The company helped shape how people worked, learned, communicated, and used technology. For many people, a computer and Windows became almost inseparable. Students wrote school assignments on Windows PCs. Businesses managed operations using Microsoft software. Governments relied on Microsoft systems. Millions of people started every day by turning on a computer running Windows. The small software company founded by two friends in 1975 had transformed into a global giant. A company worth tens of billions of dollars. A company influencing the lives of hundreds of millions of people. A company leading the personal computer revolution, but with great success came new challenges. Competitors accused Microsoft of becoming too powerful. Governments started investigating its business practices. Critics questioned its dominance. For the first time in years, Microsoft would face a different kind of battle. Not a battle for survival, but a battle over power, influence, and the future of technology. And that challenge would shape the next chapter of Microsoft's story. As Microsoft grew, Bill Gates became incredibly wealthy. His net worth climbed into the billions, then tens of billions. For years, he was the richest person in the world. Microsoft's market value passed 100 billion, then 200 billion, then even more. The company employed tens of thousands of people. Offices opened around the globe. Software created by Microsoft was used in schools, businesses, governments, and homes. The small startup from 1975 had become a technology empire. But success brought new challenges. Governments investigated Microsoft. Competitors fought back. The company faced lawsuits and criticism. For the first time in years, Microsoft's dominance was being questioned. By the late 1990s, Microsoft stood at the center of the technology world. Its software powered hundreds of millions of computers. Every day, people turned on their PCs and saw Windows. Students used Microsoft products in schools. Businesses relied on Microsoft software to operate. Governments managed important systems using Microsoft technology. The company's influence seemed limitless. Financial results became extraordinary. Revenue climbed into the billions of dollars every year. Profits continued breaking records. Investors rushed to buy Microsoft stock. The company's market value grew at a breathtaking pace. 50 billion, 100 billion, 200 billion, then more than 500 billion. For a time, Microsoft became the most valuable company on earth. Inside the company, growth was everywhere. New offices appeared across North America, Europe, Asia, and other regions. The workforce expanded from a small team into tens of thousands of employees. Engineers, designers, managers, and researchers joined Microsoft's mission. The company became one of the largest employers in the technology industry. As Microsoft grew, so did Bill Gates' fortune. His ownership stake in the company became worth billions, then tens of billions. Year after year, financial magazines ranked him as the richest person in the world. At one point, his net worth exceeded 100 billion. The numbers seemed impossible to imagine. A young programmer who had once written code in a small office had become one of the wealthiest individuals in history. The media followed his every move. Newspapers published stories about his investments. Television networks interviewed him regularly. Business schools studied Microsoft's success. Entrepreneurs around the world viewed Gates as a symbol of innovation and ambition. Yet, despite the wealth, Bill Gates remained intensely focused on work. He was known for reading hundreds of pages of reports, questioning executives, reviewing product plans, and constantly thinking about the future. He understood something important: success could disappear if a company stopped innovating. Meanwhile, Microsoft continued expanding beyond Windows. The company launched new versions of Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. These products became standard tools in businesses around the world. Millions of professionals used them every day. The company's influence continued growing. But with great success came growing criticism. Competitors argued that Microsoft had become too powerful. Some claimed the company used its dominance unfairly. Government regulators started paying attention. Investigations began. Lawsuits followed. The most famous legal battle involved accusations that Microsoft was limiting competition in the software market. The case attracted worldwide attention. Headlines appeared daily. Investors worried. Employees felt uncertainty. For years, Microsoft had seemed unstoppable. Now its future was being questioned. Courtrooms replaced conference rooms. Lawyers replaced engineers on many front pages. The company spent enormous amounts of time and money defending itself. Some experts predicted Microsoft's best years were over. Others believed the company would be broken apart. The pressure was intense. At the same time, technology itself was changing. The internet was growing rapidly, new companies were emerging. Young startups challenged established businesses, innovation moved faster than ever before. For the first time in years, Microsoft was no longer the only company shaping the future. The empire built by Bill Gates faced challenges from every direction: competition, regulation, changing technology, public criticism. The company that had dominated the PC revolution now had to prove it could survive the next revolution. And that revolution was already beginning. The internet would change everything. Soon, Microsoft would face one of the most important periods in its history. A period of reinvention that would determine whether it remained a technology giant or became a company remembered only for its past success. Many people believed Microsoft's best years were over. New competitors appeared. The internet changed everything. Smartphones became popular. Companies like Apple and Google gained attention. Microsoft struggled to adapt. Its stock remained relatively flat for years, then a new chapter began. The company invested heavily in cloud computing. Services like Azure grew rapidly. Businesses around the world moved their data to the cloud. Revenue reached tens of billions of dollars annually, then hundreds of billions. Microsoft reinvented itself. Once again, it became one of the most valuable companies in the world. Its market value eventually exceeded $1 trillion and later crossed $3 trillion. The comeback shocked many investors. By the late 2000s, the technology industry looked very different. The personal computer was no longer the center of everything. Smartphones were exploding in popularity. Social media was growing rapidly. New internet companies were attracting billions of users. Many investors worried that Microsoft had missed the future. Apple's iPhone changed the mobile industry. Google dominated internet search. New startups appeared every year. Meanwhile, Microsoft's stock price moved slowly. For nearly a decade, many shareholders saw little growth. Critics began asking difficult questions. Had Microsoft become too large, too slow, too dependent on Windows? Some analysts even described the company as a former giant living off past success. For employees who remembered Microsoft's glory years, those comments were painful. The company still generated billions of dollars in profit, still employed tens of thousands of people, still served customers around the world. Yet the excitement that once surrounded Microsoft seemed to be fading. Then leadership began focusing on a new opportunity: cloud computing. At first, many people didn't fully understand the idea. Traditionally, companies bought expensive servers and stored data inside their own buildings. Cloud computing offered a different model. Businesses could rent computing power through the internet, store information remotely, scale operations instantly, and reduce infrastructure costs. Microsoft recognized the potential early. The company invested billions of dollars building massive data centers. Thousands of servers were installed. New facilities opened across North America, Europe, Asia, and other regions. The investment was enormous. Some investors questioned whether the spending was justified. There was no guarantee of success. Competition was fierce. Amazon was already growing rapidly with its cloud business. Google was investing heavily as well. The battle for the future of computing had begun. Microsoft launched and expanded Azure. At first, growth was modest. Then demand accelerated. More companies joined. Then thousands more, then tens of thousands. Large corporations moved critical operations to Azure. Banks, hospitals, retailers, manufacturers, governments. The cloud revolution was gaining momentum. Revenue increased dramatically. Year after year, Azure became one of the fastest growing parts of Microsoft's business. The company generated tens of billions of dollars from cloud services. Then even more, corporate customers signed major contracts worth millions of dollars. Some deals were worth hundreds of millions. The scale was extraordinary. Meanwhile, Microsoft continued expanding other businesses. Office 365 transformed productivity software. LinkedIn strengthened its professional network presence. Gaming grew through Xbox. Artificial intelligence became another major focus. The company was no longer dependent on a single product. It had become a diversified technology powerhouse. Investors began noticing the transformation. Confidence returned. The stock price climbed, then climbed again. The company's market value passed $500 billion, then $1 trillion. a milestone once considered almost impossible, but Microsoft wasn't finished. The cloud business continued expanding. Artificial intelligence created new opportunities. Revenue surged to record levels. Annual revenue exceeded 100 billion, then 150 billion, then more than 200 billion. Profits reached extraordinary levels. The comeback became impossible to ignore. Financial analysts who once doubted Microsoft now praised its strategy. Business magazines published stories about one of the greatest corporate turnarounds in history. The company that many believed had missed the future was helping build it. Then came another historic achievement. Microsoft's market value surpassed 2 trillion. Later, it crossed 3 trillion. The small software company founded by two young programmers in 1975 had become one of the most valuable businesses ever created. Employees celebrated, investors celebrated, customers continued relying on Microsoft as products every day. Yet perhaps the most remarkable part of the story was not the size of the company. It was its ability to adapt, to reinvent itself, to evolve when the world changed. Many businesses succeed once, few succeed across multiple generations of technology. Microsoft survived the PC era, the internet era, the cloud era, and now it was preparing for another transformation, artificial intelligence. The next revolution was already beginning, and Microsoft intended to be at the center of it. Years later, a student asked Bill Gates, "What is the secret of success?" Bill smiled, "Success comes from learning faster than your mistakes." The audience listened carefully. Microsoft's story wasn't just about money. It wasn't just about software. It wasn't just about becoming one of the world's largest companies. It was about vision, persistence, taking risks when success seemed uncertain. To young programmers, one small company, a dream that sounded impossible. And decades later, software created by Microsoft would help billions of people around the world. Their journey proved that extraordinary companies often begin with ordinary people who simply refuse to stop believing in their idea. Sometimes the future belongs to the people willing to build it before anyone else can see it. The room remained silent. Hundreds of students were listening. Some hoped to become entrepreneurs. Some wanted to become programmers. Others dreamed of creating the next great technology company. Bill looked around the audience and saw a younger version of himself, curious, ambitious, uncertain about the future. One student raised his hand. "Did you always know Microsoft would become this successful?" Bill laughed. "Absolutely not." The audience smiled. He continued, "When we started, we weren't thinking about billions of dollars. We were thinking about writing great software." That answer surprised many people. Most saw Microsoft as one of the largest companies in history, a business worth trillions of dollars, a company used by billions of people. But Bill remembered a different reality: a small office, long nights, limited resources, and endless uncertainty. He remembered the risks. Leaving Harvard, starting a company when almost nobody owned a personal computer, competing against much larger businesses, betting everything on a future that didn't yet exist. At every stage, there were reasons to quit, reasons to be afraid, reasons to believe the dream was impossible. Yet Microsoft kept moving forward. The audience listened as Bill reflected on the company's journey. The first software contract, the IBM deal, the rise of Windows, the years of explosive growth, the legal battles, the criticism, the internet revolution, the cloud transformation. Every chapter brought new challenges. Every success created new responsibilities. Every mistake became a lesson. Another student asked, "What was the biggest lesson you learned?" Bill thought for a moment, then answered, "The world never stops changing. If you stop learning, someone else will replace you." The audience applauded, because that lesson applied to everyone, not just entrepreneurs, not just programmers. Everyone. Technology changes, industries change, opportunities change. The people who succeed are often the people willing to adapt, the people willing to learn, the people willing to start again when necessary. Bill then shared one final thought. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. The room became quiet again. Those words carried the weight of experience. Microsoft had not become successful overnight. Its journey took decades. Thousands of employees, millions of hours of work, countless failures, countless improvements. and a relentless commitment to the future. Today, Microsoft helps power businesses, schools, hospitals, governments, and homes across the world. Its software is used on every continent. Its cloud services support some of the largest organizations on Earth. Its technologies help billions of people work, learn, communicate, and create. But behind all the numbers remains a surprisingly simple story. To young friends, one bold idea, no guarantees, no certainty, just belief. Belief that computers would change the world. Belief that software mattered. Belief that the future could be built.